Hello everyone. I would like to share a story with you about why these two photographs may have something in common. Stay with me. This is Life in Bama. This photograph was taken in 1974, April of 1974. And it is the aftermath of tornado destruction in Jasper, Alabama. Jasper was one of the southernmost cities that got hit by an outbreak of tornadoes that reached from here north to the Great Lakes. And I recognize this photograph. I remember the night that this happened and the devastation that was after it. But then I started looking closer at this photograph, at this fella pointing up. And it looked like he was pointing at this dinosaur. And all of a sudden, to me, it turned into a B-rate movie still, where it looked like the fella was accusing this dinosaur of doing all of this damage. Now, I'm not taking this lightly, but I did realize, hey, I may know that dino, because this is a still frame, a video that I recorded at the Discovery Place on top of Red Mountain. And I was wondering, with all the construction that carried on after the tornado damage, if they may have moved that dinosaur from Jasper and donated it to the Discovery Place. So that sent me on a quest. If you recognize the Sinclair Dinosaur, he's been around for many years. The company's 100 years old. And he's on many collectibles, and he's very recognizable. Now, I visited Jasper just the other day to try to see where the photograph was taken from so I could try to locate where the Sinclair gas station was. This is the county courthouse. Jasper is the county seat of Walker County. And this side of the building is the side of the building you see in the photographs. I thought I knew exactly where this photograph was taken from. And so that is where I went first. This alley that's behind a laundromat on Main Street. As you can see, I held the photograph up in front of me. And then I would compare it to the current scene, you know. But as you can see, it was a little bit far away. I zoomed in a little bit, and it still didn't quite match. So I started moving forward. Now this area here where I'm standing is where I thought the dinosaur actually was. And now this is our Alabama Power Building in Jasper. Now it has a creek behind it, and in the photograph you can see that there's kind of an indention of a creek that's behind the dinosaur. So that would have put him on the creek in front of Alabama Power. But I did go around back of Alabama Power and look. And when I compared the photograph, the size of the courthouse kind of made it where that would be where the dinosaur was, right there where I pointed. So I went up to the courthouse, continued walking up there to look back, and the UPS truck was there. So I had to wait. I moved over a little bit and I could see that may actually be the perspective that it was from. But I couldn't pinpoint a location, and when I was over there, beyond the Alabama Power Building there, it did look like it was too far away. So I went in the courthouse, and I talked to a few people, and I asked them what they thought. And this is what one of the people said.
Used to be Judge Brotherton's father's old service station. So it's one right next to G. Mays' son used to be.
Okay, so we're actually looking at this door. Is the door I just came in?
I think it would be, yes.
Okay, I'll go down there and look. These buildings are in the way of seeing the courthouse, and it didn't match the photograph at all because the buildings were there when the photograph was taken. So even though the block house that is there that's holding the dinosaur is here in this same shot, if you go beyond it, the buildings are still there and it's not the same shot. So I talked to some people at the post office and see what they said. Okay, tell me where it's at.
Okay, it's right across the street from Ernest Crump Motor Company, which it was a Sinclair gas station owned by Odell Tiddler.
Well, where was the Sinclair gas station at?
Right across from Ernest Crump Motor Company.
Is Ernest Crump where it's at now?
Right.
So from there I went to Ernest Crump, and across from Ernest Crump on this corner, I'm assuming, would be where the gas station was. This is the alley I was originally in. So looking at the photograph and looking at the perspective again, you can see this is probably where the photographer was standing. And this was in front of what was the hospital at that time. And as I even looked closer at this, I could see the similarities in the perspective were just too much to deny. So I went back up to the courthouse where the UPS truck had moved, and I zoomed all the way in. And right there is where I was standing a few minutes ago, where those flags are flying across the street. Thank you for joining us for this segment. We will continue next time at the Carl Elliott Regional Library and see some aerial photographs. We'll also find more conclusions about what happened to the dinosaur. Stay tuned.